So as I'm going more and more over scenarios that can happen for the NBA draft, and I'm looking at my hometown Cavs, like, what is really the smartest course of action for them? Like, let me really sit down and assess this team for where it's at and who's under contract and how much cap room they're actually playing with. And let's just see what we actually really got over here in Cleveland. So I'm looking at it, right? And basketball is all about strategy. And it's all about having the right pieces to complement the other pieces that you have. And playing together and playing the role you need to play. I said this in a previous video. In the previous recording and video or whichever. And it's just hard to not keep stressing the fact that, man, Kobe Altman had a plan when he started rebuilding these Cavs. And it's hard for me not to think about not only Dame and CJ, but more importantly, I think about Toronto with Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet and how they was able to win the championship that year. I think about back in the day, the Indianas. They had like Mark Jackson and Haywood Workman or something. But Reggie played it too, though. He was like 6'6". But it's been various teams, Cleveland back in the day. And a lot of people don't know this too. Back when Cleveland was good, we actually ran two small guards. Like Craig Elo was pretty tall, but he played the two by default. I think Elo came off the bench a lot too sometimes. But Cleveland used to run Mark Price and Steve Kerr, Mark Price and Terrell Battle. Terrell Brandon, I'm sorry. Mark Price, Terrell Brandon, John Battle. So running small guards isn't something unfamiliar to Cleveland. Having multiple big men down there is not, it's not foreign to the team. What I look at as I'm looking at the team, and we going into the 21-22 season, all right? So under contract for next year, for the upcoming season, it's Kevin Love, Taurean Prince, Larry Nance Jr., Chetty Osman, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Colin Saxton, Dylan Wheeler, Damian Dawson, Dean Wade, Isaiah Hartenstein. All right? So, not technically, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 players. All right? You only got one draft pick, right? The number 3 overall pick. And you got Jarrett Allen as a free agent. Matthew Dellavedova is off the books. Lamar Stevens is a free agent. Broderick Thomas, Jeremiah Martin. Now, I'm an advocate for bringing Lamar Stevens back. Lamar Stevens is an undrafted free agent that we picked up last year from Penn State, played 4 years. But I like his game. I like him as a wing. I like Taurean Prince as a wing. I like Larry Nance Jr. as a wing. I like Damian Dawson. I like Chetty Osman. Now, I've been talking a lot about the starting 5 and what I think they should do with the number 3 pick. But I want to look at the rest of this roster right quick and really just dive into what does Cleveland have, actually. Okay, so as I look at the situation, all right, I look at Kobe Altman and the predicament he was in, as I've elaborated on before. And I'm looking at this season saying, this is the first year Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Kobe Altman has actually been on even playing ground. This is his first time actually being on even playing ground, right? And he actually has a legitimate contending roster. Now, people will say, ha, 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 you sound stupid. But actually, look at this roster, all right? Taurean Prince, Larry Nance Jr., Kevin Love, Cedi Osman, all have playoff and championship experience, if not both. It's either or both, all right? All of them know what it's like to play in the grind, all right? We're talking about guys that are Kevin Love, 32, Taurean Prince, 27, Larry Nance, 28, Cedi Osman, 26. So technically, all of these guys are virtually in their proverbial primes. Damian Dotson, we picked up, swingman that came from the Knicks. He is actually a pretty good veteran guy. You know what I'm saying? He virtually in his prime. All right. The Cavs start off with a small lineup, but for the way Bickerstaff plays, coming off the bench, he actually has a nice counteract. You know what I mean? They put Cedi at the 4 and the 3 and the 2. But I'm just saying, why not make Cedi the backup guard? I always thought Cedi was better or more when you make him the decision maker on the ball, force him to have to get his handles up and all that. And I think that's something he should be doing. I think that should have been, hey, you have to be more of a creator. You have to be able to handle the ball better. You have to be able to come and create for teammates better. Cedi Osman is a 14th, I want to say 14th or 15th. I want to say 14th overall selection that we took in the 2014 draft. Was it the year we got Andrew Wiggins? I think so. Because Cedi Osman was overseas still in Turkey. And then he didn't really start playing for us till 2015. So we've had Cedi his whole career. And he's been to the finals with us and everything. And I actually like Cedi's game. And I think it's growing. And I think that's why Kobe signed him to that deal. Larry Nance Jr. has a lot of history. Well, hold on. Let me stay at Cedi Osman right quick. Cedi is showing the ability to score more, which I wanted to see last year. Scoring more on the break, scoring more in the half court with the ball in his hands or off the ball, set shot, catch and shoot. So I think, the Cavs should let Cedi be the backup point 2 guard or whatever. Still bring in a real point guard. You know what I'm saying? Still bring in, and you can still bring in either a young vet or a young guy that can grow. You know what I mean? Somebody who already got dribbling and passing potential. I like Sharife Cooper. I think if we could find a way to bring in Sharife Cooper, that'll be nice. All right? We find a way to bring in Sharife Cooper, that'll be nice. All right? Because I think he'll be a nice addition. Even though he's small, but he'll be able to grow his game and facilitate. And that's what we need. Because technically, like I said, we got some guys off that bench that we could bring in and rotate and really do some damage. And, you got to remember our young stars are really young. So coming off with a veteran bench behind young guys that you want to grow, guys that can still come in and get good minutes and still grow their games too, I really think the Cavs playing with something. You got all your draft, even though you only got 1 draft pick this year, for the years after this, you got all your draft picks. Kevin Love only got 2 more years left on his contract. You know what I mean? And then next year, even if you don't make no moves next year, you'll still have Larry Nance, Cedi Osman, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Windler, and Dean Wade still all on contract, plus your rookie you draft with the 3rd pick. All right? So, like I say, you start with Garland and Sexton. And I just can't emphasize enough how them two complement each other. Even though they got defensive deficiencies, they complement each other with their games. Sexton is a attacking, aggressive guy. You know what I'm saying? Who's learning how to create from being aggressive as an attacker. Garland is a finesse and create space type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He can beat you one-on-one, but he more of a one-on-one facilitator. Where Sexton more of a one-on-one scorer. You know what I'm saying? Now, Sexton can be a facilitator. Garland can be a scorer. Even though they both, got their height deficiencies and build deficiencies that make them a liability on the defensive end. But they play aggressive. They play with a lot of heart. and you can't stop him from scoring. So the name of the game is put the ball in the bucket. This is a whole new game, positionless basketball, all right? As long as you can protect, you good. So you got them two, and then you got Chetty, who's been playing. And right now in the Olympics, he is definitely showing his ball handling ability. Even at one point, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the former two-time MVP, said Chetty Osman was the best overseas player he ever seen. And he on the Cavs, all right? And the Cavs have a history of trading away people before they get, or right when they hit their prime, and they don't want to pay them. And I feel like we've been moving away from that with signing Kyrie, with signing Love, with signing, Nance and Osman, and, a few guys. Like, I feel like we're moving away from that stigma. Dan Gilbert did dish out a lot of money while LeBron was here to keep that championship team together as much as he could. So even though I talk a lot of stuff about, Dan Gilbert, I do got to give him his kudos for that, because he definitely came out of his pocket to make that happen, and that can't go understated, you know what I'm saying, or ignored, you know what I mean, regardless of what his character antics be, whatever, so, like I say, Kobe all been playing on even playing ground, so I like a backcourt idea, though, of Garland, Saxton, Chetty Osman, all right, all Cavalier draft picks that's been growing with the team, all right, and then the guy that's coming on back up is really, a guy who is probably your most seasoned draft pick that you got. So I like that. You know what I mean? Let that grow. Run your team, let that grow. Now, in order for them to grow, you got to surround them around guys that could defend and put the ball in the bucket. All right? So this is where you get a lot mad at Love. But, as I say, we're taking a look at this bench and seeing how it complements the young boom. So, let's go with Larry Nance Jr. Larry Nance Jr. is a hometown staple, because I think he might have been even born here. His father used to play for us back with Mark Price and Brad Daugherty. And Larry Nance is a very known figure, a very famous figure in the NBA, no doubt. So, Larry Nance Jr. loves Cleveland. He likes being in Cleveland. He's always in the community and doing different things to try to help bring the city up. And us fans, we love Larry Nance Jr. too. We like him. And we like what he brings to the court, because he has a growing game. He's really like an athletic guy who can do a lot of defensive things, special. He can be special on the defensive end, but he's a high flyer, and he has a growing jumper. And it look like he getting some handles too. So, they have him playing a lot of 4 and 5, but I like him on the wing, 3, 4. And I like what he brings. He can run the floor. He can run with the young guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he's 28. He in his prime. We got him for, at least 2 more seasons. All right? So, I like that. He's played, in L.A. under the bright lights. He's been, to the playoff. He's been to the finals. Taurean Prince, a guy who we have on the last year, his deal, $15 million. But Taurean Prince is interesting because I like him for us, and I like how he played for us. I like his veteran presence. At the same token, though, him like Love, that $15 million is a hindrance. You know what I'm saying? That's $15 million that really can go to Sexton and Jared Allen contracts. So getting rid of his contract might be a priority, but it's also a gift and a curse, because I actually like his fit with the team. Taurean Prince, Larry Nance, and Chetty Osman coming off your bench is a nice 3 to come off with. They're not necessarily the standout stars, but good rotation guys who can make an impact on a championship team. I think they are those guys. So as much as I would like to keep Taurean Prince, I see the value in a 27-year-old lottery pick, because I think he went 14th in the draft to Atlanta that year. A $15 million contract for a guy entering his prime who could virtually guard every position, or at least 1 through 4, and play 2 through 3. Especially for a positionless league that's, looking for a guy like that. We could move Taurean Prince and a future pick In a scenario like that, I would definitely look at before I go to the trade thing, I'm going to just keep looking at the roster first. Because, I ramble. I'm going to just keep looking at the roster. But Taurean Prince, just going to highlight, that's one of them contracts with a pick thing that might be in consideration. All right. Now let's get to Kevin Love. Now, as I said, I was looking at the bench. You know what I'm saying? I want to go look at the starters. And people be like, damn, why you talking about Love now? Because Love has become a liability to the Cavs. He's become a total liability. And what I mean by that is, not only was he given a great extension of 4 years, $120 million, he has not even played a whole 40% of the time since that contract and this present day. He hasn't been reliable or available or shown any valuable leadership to really help. At least not in front of the cameras. Behind the scenes, I don't really know what he's doing, but in front of the cameras, now he's a 4 who can't really defend, but has he got some capabilities to do at least some help. I ain't gonna play. He can do some help, but he's been staying injured, or I don't know if that's just the playoffs, so Cleveland could tank. He still got a daily jumper. He still got post moves, but he ain't athletic, so getting off the ground is a whole nother conversation. But you making $31 million this year and $28 million next year, so I guess the fact that your contract gonna decline next year could help. But at the same token, though, I just kind of want Gilbert to just buy him out. Just buy him out, bro. Why not? He not helping the team. He a hindrance. Now, you could move him and get him to a contender, but let's just say you do move him. Who would be willing to take on his contract? All right. Now, I thought about OKC at 6. All right. OKC probably could use a trade exception or something. OKC already got damn near everybody in the league picks right now. All right. They got about 47 picks over the next 7 years. And that's retarded when you only get 2 picks per draft, and they got about 4. All right, 47 might be an exaggeration, but they got at least around 20-something picks over the next 7 years. And 7 years might even be too far for those 20 picks. It might be within the 5. Whatever the case, though. All right. OKC got a lot of picks. But that number 6 pick or the 16th pick, all right, if I can move Love and get the 16th pick, I'm cool with that. Because there's still some guys in that range that can come in and really impact the team. You know what I mean? But Love has been a total liability. So if we don't end up moving him, we still going to have to play him. And I feel like he should come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was playing like we need him to play, then he actually would really be a valuable piece for a championship team because of his ability to stretch. But him coming off the bench is going to be more favorable because, bruh, you can't really do nothing else. Now, in my opinion, that might actually be the smartest move, though. Hold on. Let's go with this thought for a second, okay? So, let's say the Cavs running back, right? All they do, you bring back Jared Allen, all right? Everybody say Jared Allen gonna get $100 million, plus $100 million. I don't think so. I think him, like Colin Sexton, probably gonna get 4 years, $90 million, because they're only 22. Colin 22, Jared 23. A 4-year contracts put them both at 26, 27 years old, which gives them a chance to earn more money and still get paid while growing their games and having some type of, longevity. You know what I mean? And it still give Cavs flexibility because we own both their bird rights, so going over the cap ain't nothing. But getting Kevin Love contract off will be the next issue. But Love only got 2 more years. So I'm going to entertain the thought of us keeping Love. All right? Nobody's going to trade for him. Love ain't going. All right. So look at this. The Cavs draft Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley plays, right? You start Mobley. Right? So you got the starting lineup of Darius Garland at the point guard, Colin Sexton at the 2, Isaac Okoro at the 3, Evan Mobley at the 4, Jarrett Allen at the 5. I feel like with this lineup, they'll run a lot of zone because ultimately you can have one guard and one 7-footer on one side of the floor and let Okoro basically kind of roam the middle. And they play and let him kind of be the free safety of the defense, which actually ain't a bad idea for a guy of his talents. You know what I mean? Like that actually kind of fit. All right. Now, you can come right off the bench behind Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley with Kevin Love and Larry Nance Jr. I don't think that's a bad thing. All right. At the 4, if Love played the 5, Larry Nance played the 4, coming off the bench behind the young guys. People like, oh, but they making all that money, they coming off, but it ain't about that. It's about winning ball games. You know what I mean? It's about getting your trade value up. It's about showing that you can be a team player. Kevin Love probably gonna come off the bench somewhere else anyway, all right? But guess what, Kevin Love? You can be off the bench and be the lead and scorer off the bench. Because when you come in and play, you ain't going to be asked to wreck your body too crazy. And you're going to be able to play against guys that you actually could take advantage of. You know what I mean? So, I think that's how, rotation big man. Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, Kevin Love, Larry Nance Jr. Oh, he ain't going to accept that. He ain't going to come off that road, bruh. It don't even matter. All right? You going to play whatever you going to play. And he's still going to want to get paid. So I'm pretty sure Kevin Love going to play. And Kevin Love going to want to try to get his status up. But Kevin Love off the bench with Larry Nance Jr. is fire. You feel me? Behind the young guys. Because it's a young guys league. You feel me? These guys ain't starting right now, but y'all getting paid. So let's do that. You feel me? Larry Nance ain't tripping about coming off the bench. But anyway, let's continue with this bench. All right? So Kevin Love at the center. Larry Nance at the 4. Taurean Prince at the 3, Windler at the 2, Chetty Osman at the 1. Or you could go Damian Dodson at the 2 or the 3. You know what I'm saying? Let Chetty Osman run the 1. That don't sound bad, bruh. You get 15 people on the bench, right? So you still got Isaiah Hartenstein that you can use, which is another big body. And then you still got, then you can bring back Lamar Stevens. And I think they definitely should sign Lamar Stevens to a nice little young contract. Lamar Stevens, what, 24? You give him like a 3-year deal, you know what I'm saying? Like, you give him like $4-5 million a year or something. You give him 3. You feel me? Ain't like 12 million, 13 million, you feel me? Let him come back and grow in the system with this wing to take over for a couple of these guys. A 3-4 year deal like you did Chetty. Because I think he would be a nice little piece right there. Especially if you get a chance to move, Taurean Prince's contract. I mean, that's going to be raw. Some people will probably hear this video and be like, dude, tripping. But just follow me, all right? Lamar Stevens, I think he'll be cool. You move Taurean Prince, you know what I'm saying? You'll have somebody to go with Damian Dodson. And then you got, all these guys are tall. Chetty 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" type shit. Damian Dodson 6'7". Larry Nance Jr. 6'7", 6'8", you feel me? Hartenstein 7 feet. Kevin Love like 6'10". You know what I mean? So you got some length coming off the bench. All right? And that still leave you, just say Taurean Prince do get moved. That still leave you, with, like 11 guys. All right, cool. That's added with Evan Mobley. And this is all under the pretense that Evan Mobley is the pick. All right? So you looking at that, and you would look at the team and say, okay, could this team really contend? I mean, look at it. Darius Garland was putting up 17 and 6 last year. So it's conceivable to say that he could jump to 19-8, 20-9 even. All right. Sexton is already putting up 24 last year. He could conceivably jump to 25, 26. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even 27. All right. Isaac Okoro showed flashes at the end of the year that he could start picking up his scoring. You know what I'm saying? Now with a whole offseason to be able to actually work on his offensive game, now that you know this defensive game actually can contend in the league. You know what I mean? I think that's cool. Evan Mobley is going to put up points. Because of the two guards that he running with, because what Allen, the presence that Allen's going to command, the attention Allen's going to command with his presence in the paint, all Evan Mobley has to do is be confident and hit his shots. I mean, the guy showed that he can kind of handle on the perimeter, which he ain't going to have to do a lot of, but he going to need to be able to make moves. And that's what I want to see from him in this offense, is that being decisive, scoring with the ball. When you get the ball in position to make your move and go. All right? Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Allen going to be on the other side. You showed the ability to pass, so the Twin Tower game should work phenomenally. All right? Even, in the finals, sometimes you seen Popovich run with Patty Mills and Tony Parker, and bring Ginobili off the bench. You got to do what's best for the team, man. But doing that, and Jared Allen can lightweight shoot, though. So, that young core, man, Garland 21, Sexton 22, Okoro 20, Allen 23, Mobley 19, or probably be 20 when the season starts. And you let them guys just grow and run. Just grow and run. You feel me? And you bring these other guys off the bench. Now, if we keep the team like that and it go like that, because, and I'll recap, all right? I'm saying you bring Garland, Sexton, Okoro, Mobley, Allen. And off the bench, you coming with Osman, Wendler, Prince, Nance, Love. Man, you cannot tell me, bruh, that that's not a playoff team. That's a playoff team, bruh. That's a playoff team. In the East or the Western Conference, bruh, that's a playoff team. Now, it may be like a 7 seed, an 8 seed, but that's a playoff team. You still got your draft pick, so you still got ammunition to make moves. You got a big contract that can come off your bench. But in them playoffs, Love's coming off the bench going to be such a threat. You feel me? Like, when you get in your half-court breakdown of what you can do with that roster like that, that's crazy. That's just 10 people. That ain't even including Hartenstein as a 7-foot who can move and, hit open shots, and Lamar Stevens. That's why I said they would just need another ball handler or two off the bench. You know what I mean? Point guards or guards that can facilitate and run an offense for real. Got some handle for real. I like Sharif Cooper. If they bring in another big guard, like just say like Alonzo Ballish, then, I can see a couple guys having to move, like a Dodson, a Prince. I just don't think Chetty and Nance going nowhere. But Chetty, Nance, and Love off the bench would be fire, because I think Chetty could really play the guard off the bench, the lead guard off the bench. Now, it's a lot of trade chatter going on. All right. And this shit is fucking hilarious to me. All right. It's disrespectful and funny. Reports say teams are aggressively pursuing Colin Sexton. Now, for my Cleveland fans who not used to having a team retain good players, this is what happens when your players get good. All these rumors and trade rumors start coming out, and now we're starting to experience what we witnessed other teams going through. Bradley Beal, Anthony Davis, and the list goes on and on. All right, Ben Simmons now. Now, some of these are actually valid, but for us, they're not valid. They're just trying to poach us. So I need all my Cleveland fans to relax and feel good. We should take the high road. Why? because we actually have players that other teams want. That's a good thing. That means we got good players. A person gonna always try to downplay something good that you got to you because they see the value in it and they think they see it more than you do. This is why you got to stick to your guns. And as Philly tried to say, trust the process, all right? Because, again, I'll reiterate, man, I think Kobe Altman has done a good job for what he's had to work with, and I think this is the first time he on even ground and can really make something significant knowing he got a solid base to work with, all right? Now, reports say New York tried to offer Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, and one of their first-round picks for Colin Sexton. This is why this trade makes no sense. First off, as I just said earlier, we already got enough forwards and wings. First and foremost, we got enough. We don't have enough reliable ball handlers. Like, Colin is a reliable ball handler, but he's not a facilitator right now. And we're going to see what his game look like coming up in this next upcoming season. Garland is a, ball handler, facilitator. But realistically, them the only two ball handlers on the team. So we're not going to give up our leading scorer plus our second best creator for guys that New York didn't even really play in man, get out of here, bro. That don't even sound smart, all right? Some people say Colin could go to the Lakers. Bro, why would the Cavs give LeBron anything? And this is, again, very few times it's happened where I would side with Dan Gilbert because Dan Gilbert not even going to trade off on giving LeBron nothing. And I don't blame him. In the spirit of competition, I don't blame him. Why would he do that? That's an insult to even bring that up, to even put that out there. All right? I keep trying to tell people, man. Garland, Sexton, Okoro, Allen, Osman, Nance, Windler, all them guys are untouchable, bro. That is our young core of our team. That is the core. We just need the stars to fill up around it. You know what I mean? Because that's a nice core. So people like, oh, the Cavs trying to trade up to get Cade Cunningham. Yeah. If we could trade the third and a couple future picks and get Cade, yeah. Why not? Because now we could really do some shuffling. You know what I mean? Now you can say, okay, can I bring a core off the bench as the wing? Or do I start Cade at the 4? Because Cade's 6'8" with a 7'1" wingspan playing two ways. And positionless basketball, him playing the 4. And lets Allen actually be in the paint a little more, spaces the floor a little more, allows Okoro more slashing lanes, and puts you another ball handler on the floor. I mean, I can't knock Kobe for looking at Cade and saying if I can get him, I would try. Especially if I can move Love contract with it. But then you got to take something back, and that's where it get complicated, and that's where I don't see us moving up because at that point it's going to get too risky, and you got to do too much, and that's overthinking things. So, what else we heard? We heard teams are interested in Nance. They're interested in Osman. They're interested in Jared Allen. Of course, they're interested in Garland. They'll be interested in Okoro if he was up for. Windler, we got to see what's up with his injury history. But I think the only thing wrong with Windler is Windler played bigger than what his body weight is right now. And, as you start playing more in the league, you start getting your body up under you. So this off time hopefully allows him to come back better. And I think let him play more of a 2 guard versus playing a 3 or 4 really just going to help you because he a guy that can rebound. So putting his rebounding more on the perimeter and just playing more to his body weight and size versus the way he play versus his attitude would just, help him out health-wise and help the team. Now, I don't know about his ball handling, but he is a shooter, so being a guy who can move off picks and catch and shoot, add net to his game, he could be the 2 behind Sexton. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I like the fact that Cleveland keeping their draft picks, man. We ain't do that. If Cleveland keep their draft picks, bro, we have a raw team for a long time. So that's why I just feel like they should just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Especially guys get here and they see the hunger of the fans and the city and shit, and they want to play for that. So use that. You know what I mean? But guys that I can really see getting traded, guys I think Kevin Love gonna get bought out. I think he should get bought out. I think the Cavs shouldn't wait to buy him out. But if Dan Gilbert don't want to buy him out and he want to make him stick to his contract, that's cool. If Kobe Alvin can't move him, he's already been came out. Well, Isden already came out that he gonna have a reduced role. So come off the bench behind Jared Allen. You 32, bruh. You still getting 30 mil. What you tripping off of? Just come in and bust ass. You could be 6th man of the year and you gonna have a 1-year contract left with $28 million on there. And you could probably net the Cavs a good return just on the strength. You know what I'm saying? That contract might be worth the trade then. You know what I'm saying? You could at least do that for us. You know, and but, if the Cavs, now, and I'm a little stutterish because I feel like the Cavs need to get back in the draft, and I feel like it's opportunity to get back in the draft. It's definitely opportunity to get back in the draft in between, like, picks 15 and 25, I think, which I think is a good range for the Cavs to try to get in. I think a guy like Taurean Prince could bring back a good pick. I think if they offer Love in a future first-round pick unprotected, I think they can get somebody to take that contract. Because a team going to automatically assume we not going to be good in a couple years. So I get them a 2026 unprotected pick. 2026. The 2026 is, 4 or 5 seasons from now. By that time, we be then did some things. Everybody be then grew up, you feel me? And I just think, Cavs should be willing to bet on themselves and bet on their coaching staff and bet on their scouting staff and bet on all the hard work that they've been putting in, to change the culture of this team around. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to bet on yourself, man. You go with a plan, man. You take all the time building a plan, man. You should execute it the way you put it down. You know what I mean? So, but in free agency or whatever they do, they need a ball handler. They need somebody else who can facilitate. Being able to bring in a veteran would be cool, but a veteran going to want good playing time. And you just need somebody that's going to help come school these guys, you know what I'm saying? But not necessarily need a lot of playing time. It ain't a lot of them older guards in the league right now that's going to do that, especially ones that's crafty like that. But maybe you can do it with a coach. You can bring in a nice little point guard coach, you know what I'm saying, that can help push these guys over the hump. But that's just, I don't see the Cavs really trading a third. As I've been saying, I really think Jalen Green gonna go first. Cade Cunningham will go second. But in the event that Cade Cunningham does go first as predicted and projected, then, Jalen Green going second. I don't think Evan Mobley goes second. I think Jalen Green definitely goes second. Those two are going 1 and 2. Mobley fall to Cleveland at 3. I think the Cavs will probably try to find a way to get Kuminga, which I don't think is a bad idea either. This is why I say I could see, Taurean Prince getting moved. And even though as I was saying that about Chetty Osman, I can see Chetty being a piece getting moved if they want to try to get a Kuminga, because ultimately Kuminga is going to bring exactly what Chetty and Taurean Prince to do. So, you could see a team like Orlando. Maybe they'll take them 2 in a second rounder in the future or something, or a couple second rounders, and move from that 5th pick, because they still got the 8th pick, and those contracts might help their team. They might got another move they can make. When they move on from Jonathan Isaac, what's up with Terrence Ross? The Thunder seem like they trying to make some moves. Maybe they want to get rid of the 6th pick, trade it for a future pick. Feel like this 6th pick ain't worth it. We could probably still land Kuminga at 6. Or get the 6th pick and try to use that with another pick. Move up to the 5. Get it from Orlando. But whatever moves we make, the guys that I said untouchable is not going to get moved. You know what I'm saying? Them guys not going to get touched. But, I'm very excited. 2021 NBA Draft, Thursday, July 29th. I will be going live for it. Live with Hollywood Set Tripping. So make sure y'all subscribe, follow, and give me your feedback. Let me know how you feel about today's show. All right. There are a lot more interesting and insightful things I want to discuss with you all. So take the time out right now for me to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, or dislike. Leave some feedback in the comment section and be ready to watch the next episode of Game Changer Sports Talk live from the marvelous Hollywood Studios on the Goonie Tunes channel.